Hello everybody, how are you? Hope you're fine this afternoon. I'm the ACCA tutor Gerald Mtimkulu, Jerry Mtimkulu. Okay, um, I'm taking you through from Transcribe Consulting Services, where we'll be doing the ACCA PM paper lecturing series. Okay, and I hope you're okay wherever you are. And in this short video, we are going to discuss an example involving limiting factor analysis. And it's a step further from our previous lecture where we did limiting factor analysis in a situation where we'll be having a single constraint. But in this case, we are having potentially two or more limiting factors. So the slide you have been given, ladies and gentlemen, and enjoy the slide. However, I have thought it conducive and imperative for you to have a supplementary video explaining one or two examples in the slide. Okay, we are not going to give you every a video for every example. Okay, so if you find anything challenging, always get in touch with your trainer. That's the reason why you pay us. That's the reason why you hire us. We are there to help you so that you pass and go to the next level in your ACCA journey. We expect you to graduate as quickly as possible because, you know, the market wants the young, okay, the young and energetic. So you just have to finish this qualification and do it once and for all, and you go on with your life. Okay, you move on with your life. All right. Without wasting your time, let us go straight to example Pedro. Okay, there is an example there, example Pedro, and we have highlighted that you need the tutor's explanation for you to understand what the example is all about. Okay, and so that you know how to tackle, how to attack these questions within the possible shortest time. Okay. All right. Pedro manufactures and sells three products X, Y, and Z, for which budgeted sales demand, unit selling prices, and unit variable costs are as follows: X, Y, Z. Budgeted sales demand 550 units, 500 units, 400 units. And again, you're having all that information. Ladies and gentlemen, do not be boggled with this information. Do not be dazzled and confused about a lot of these figures. They do not intimidate anything. Okay, just calm down, take a sip of your fresh water, and listen. Go through the question with me. Do not worry for now. All right. The organization has existing inventory of 250 units. This is a very important issue here. The very important issue we need to highlight as part of okay. So man, don't mind the way I'm not a good artist. Still remember having a torrid time in my primary school. Wasn't that good in drawing. Hey man. Anyway, it's just a fatigue coming in. So we are told the organization has existing inventory, that is inventory at hand, of 250 units of X and 200 units of C. So which means there's no need for us to produce these units, okay, because we already have them in stock. All right, we already have them in stock, so they shouldn't be part of our production plan. Are we together? But we need to take them into consideration as we do, or as we construct our production plan. Okay, so these are the units which it is quite willing to use up to meet the sales demand. All three products use the same direct materials and same type of direct labor. In the next year, the available supply of materials will be restricted to 4,800. Hey, Materials will be restricted to 4,800 cost, and labor 6,600 at cost. These figures are very important, ladies and gentlemen. Now, the question is saying, determine what product mix and sales mix would maximize the organization's profits in the next year. All right. That's the information, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get straight away to attack the question, because in the exam you do not have much time to do the dilly-dallings and so forth. The examiners are very, very, very cunning when it comes to their time. So you be always prepared to attack the questions in the quickest possible time. All right. There are two scarce resources, okay, in this case. That may be limiting factors. Okay, there are two scarce resources, and we are told that materials are restricted to a particular amount, and as well as the labor. All right. However, this is not actually a certainty that the two are indeed limiting factors. All right. Why? Because we have also the information about sales demand. Okay, we are also told the issue of sales demand. So we can't actually say labor and materials are the limiting factors. It's either there's no limiting factor at all except the sales demand, or there's only one scarce resource that prevents the full potential sales demand being achieved. So what we do then, we have to follow a systematic way of attacking these questions. There is a systematic way. So let's do step number one. Step one. Okay. We have to establish which one is the scarce resource. So let's establish scarce resource. Scarce resource. Remember, our topic is limiting factor analysis. All right. So we have to come up with a 4-column table. Okay, just a 4-column table. Don't worry about the shabbiness of this table. Okay, the examiners are not going to be very interested in your artistic capabilities. They want your cognitive abilities. Okay, they want to assess your cognitive abilities, not artistic talents. X units, Y units, and Z units. Okay, hey man, we are having a lot of colors, so students should enjoy their coloring. Okay, so we are given the budgeted sales, ladies and gentlemen. How much were they? These budgeted sales, where are they? All right, let's go back to our question. All right, we are giving 550, 500 and 400. 550, 500 and 400. 550 for product X, 500 for product Y, and 400 for product Z. Okay, these are units, ladies and gentlemen. And then inventory already in existence, inventory at hand. Inventory in hand. We are told for X, it's sure it's 250. Yeah, 250 and 200 for Z. 250 and 200 for Z, which means this guy doesn't have any, we don't have any inventory in hand. Okay, so how much are we going to produce to meet the demand? Minimum production to meet demand. Minimum production to meet demand. But I have got only 10 minutes, so a little arithmetic here is going to help us. All right. Like I said, we already have 250, but our budget says that we need to, at least the demand is 550 units for the units of product X. So if we already have 250, how much shall we produce already? So we have to to deduct 250 from 550, and we are left with 300. We do the same here. It means that we have to produce 500 units, and here we have to produce 200 units. Okay, I don't like this. Okay, now these are the units we have to produce. All right, but we need to go a step further. We need to go a step further and determine how much in terms of monetary values shall we have, okay, or shall we worry about. Okay, so we need another column, another 4-column table again. We need another 4-column table. Okay, this time, which color? Let us okay. Is it gonna augur well? All right. Yes, because of the darkness involved. For clarity. All right. Let's throw another 4-column table here. Oh yes, this artist in me, yeah, it's better now. Okay, here we need the minimum production to meet demand. Okay, and like I said, these are units. Then the required materials for this minimum production. Required materials at cost, obviously, to be in dollars. Okay, and then required labor at cost. How much was the required labor, or how much is the required labor? And here we need to put the products. Okay, hey, we haven't started any rankings yet, so do not worry about the ranking. Okay, X, Y, Z, just slot them in their order for now. Okay, now, like I said, we need to produce 300, we need to produce 500, we need to produce 200. Where am I getting these figures? It's very simple. It's very, very, very simple. We are getting them here. This is the first one. This is the second one. This is the third one. Okay? That's where we are taking the figures from. Okay, now, required materials at cost. We are given, ladies and gentlemen, the costs for these ones, the unit costs for X from our question, X material costs, these ones. Okay, for X it's 8, for Y it's 6, for Z it's $2. Hey, these are the materials. Okay, so we just use the same information here. All right, like I said, this is $8, this is 6, this is $2. Let me cross check. Yes, 862. All right, now we want the total amount of material costs. So 300 multiplied by 8, we get 2,400 material costs for product X, and 500 multiplied by 6, that's 3,000 for material Y, for product Y, and for product Z, that's 200 multiplied by $2, that's 400. Okay, then we have to add up. Let us add. If you add up, we're going to have something like 008, 5.8. Okay, that's 5.8, right? This is the total required. This is the total required in terms of materials. Now, let us go to labor at cost, we do the same thing, the same trick here for labor. For labor, these are the labor per unit, okay? Labor cost per unit. All right, so that's 4, 6, and 9. We go to our table. 4, 6, and 9. So we say 300 multiplied by 4, we get 3.6. I'm sorry, that's 1.2. I'm running out of time. 1.2. And 500 multiplied by 6, that's 3,000. 200 multiplied by 9, that's 1.8. Okay, we get the total as we did on the materials. If we add up, you're going to say 0, 0, 0, 4, 5, 6. So we are having total required in terms of labor $6,000. $6,000 of labor is required. However, how much do we have total available? What is the total available? Total available from the question. The question is saying available in terms of material, that's 4,800. Available in terms of labor, that's 6,600. So I want you guys to tell me. Just tell me. Okay. We need 5,800 to do, of materials. Okay. But we have, according to our budget, 4,800 in our coffers. What does that mean? For materials, are we having a surplus or deficit? Surplus or shortfall? Are we having a surplus or shortfall for materials? Obviously, we are having a shortfall of how much? $1,000. Okay? Of $1,000. Why? Because we require $5,800, but total available, according to the budget, it's $4,800. So we are having a shortfall of $1,000. What about for labor? We need $6,000 of labor, but according to the budget, we are having 6,600. So therefore, we are having a surplus of 600 positive. Hey. I'm sorry. Okay. This is our arithmetic for step number 1. So what does it mean? It means that labor is not a limiting factor, but materials are. So what do we do then? We then have to go to step number 2. Contribution per unit. We need to determine the contribution per dollar of scarce resource. In this case, materials. Per dollar of materials. Hey, somebody's saying, your pen is not, can't you change the pen? Okay, so let me just change the pen for now, so that it will be very easier for you guys to follow. Step 2, contribution per dollar of scarce resource. In this case, the scarce resource is materials. Now, let's again draw our table. Let's again draw our table. All right. Here's the table. Having product X, product Y, product Z. Okay. We are in dollars, dollars, dollars. Okay. We are having units. Unit contribution. The unit contribution, this one has been given in the question. We go back to the question and say, hey, question, where are the contribution figures? Here. Contribution, contribution. Contribution for product X, that's 4. For Y, 6. For Z, 3. So 4, 6, 3. 4, 6, 3. That's it's an issue of just slotting in figures. Okay, and then we go to cost of materials. Cost of materials. All right, and the cost of material is very easy. I'm sure we wrote it somewhere here. Yes, cost of materials. Okay, per unit. So that's 862. So yeah, we are just playing with the same figures. 862. 862. All right. Why have we selected the cost of materials? Because materials have been determined to be the scarce resource, the limiting factor. Okay, so we want to find the contribution per dollar of materials, per dollar of that scarce resource. Okay, per dollar of that limiting factor. So the contribution per unit here, contribution per dollar would be how much of materials? Here, that's 4 over 8, because it's contribution per materials. So that's contribution over materials. So 4 over 8, that's 50 cents, 0.5. Here, that's $1. 6 over 6, that's $1. Here, 3 over 2, that's $1.50. So let us try to rank these guys. Ranking now. The last aspect will be ranking. Let us rank. Which one goes first? I mean, which one should be produced first? Obviously, Z should be given first preference, followed by Yankee, followed by Y. Sorry. This one should be given second, and this one third. Okay, we don't have time to waste. Let's move on. Step number 3. We now know which one should be produced first. So let's move on to step number 3. Step 3. The production plan. Production plan. Okay. We know that Z should be produced first, followed by followed by Y, and then X. Okay, and then X. So what we need to do is we have to create another table here. All right, this time I think it should be 6 column. 6 column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6 column table. All right, this is our table. Then we have ranking here, and then the product, then minimum production. We calculated this minimum production, so don't worry. Calculated it there on the first table, so don't worry. Then production quantity in units. Okay, then we need the material cost in total. Okay, and remember these ones are in dollars. Now this one, just leave it like that. Just leave it like that. Okay, the ranking. We need to start with the first, followed by second, and then third. We've got, we need to first do Z, then Y, X, according to our findings here. According to these findings, these are critical findings. According to this one, it's the first guy, the Z, followed by the Yankee. And then the X-ray. Okay, that's what's happening here. That's what's happening. Do not be dazzled. I'm sure you're following. I'm sure you're following, and I'm not alone. Okay. Now that we are having this information, we need to make sense out of it. Okay, and for the minimum production in units, we've already calculated this one, and we said that for Z, we have to produce 200, and for Young 500, and for this guy we said it's 300. If you go back here, you still remember, these are the figures which we determined, these ones with their arrows. Okay, so don't be thrown overboard. Okay, so that is it. 200, 500, 300. That's what we thought should happen. Okay, that's what we thought should happen. After taking into consideration the issues of opening or inventory hand, opening inventories. Okay. However, we also need to consider something else. All right, because we are restricted. Remember, by the end of the day, our material costs should not exceed $4,800. So this means that our plan may fail. And remember, Z is costing $2 per unit of material. This guy is costing $6, and this one is costing $80. Okay. So since Z is giving us the most favorable contribution, we need to take all of Z, produce all of Z at $2. That's $400. Okay. Then we have to produce the second best, 500 units of X of Y, multiplied by $6 per unit. That's 3,000. And lastly, we have to produce this guy who is giving us the most legal contribution. Okay, the smallest contribution. So here now we need to do it backwards. So let us find the balancing figure here. 3.4 minus 4,800. How much do we get? 3.4. 3.4 is 400 plus 3,000. That's 3,400. So 3,400 minus 4.8. That's 1.4. Okay. Whatever we produce, whatever we want to produce about X, okay, or in X or of X, whatever we want to produce of X, or whatever units of X we want to produce, it should not exceed 1,400. But each material per unit, okay, each material is going to cost $8. Okay, the material costs per unit of X is costing $80. So what does that mean? It means that we need about 1,400 divided by 8, which is equal to 1,400 divided by 8 divided by 8. This means that we need 175 units only. We are going to only produce 175. These are the units we can produce according to the demand. Otherwise, if we exceed 175, we are going to just produce items which are going to be idle in our warehouse. That's overproduction. And you know that storage costs are a bad cost in the business. Okay, they do not add value. So we have to minimize the production. We have to produce according to demand. Okay, we have to produce according to demand. So we are going to do, on the last part, you face, this should be balancing figure. And then you do it backwards. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, this is the production plan, okay, where we're going to have the product mix. And when we talk of the product mix, this is the product mix. This is the product mix. This one. That's the product mix. We're going to produce 200 units. That's the product mix. 200 units of Z, 500 units of Y, and 175 units X. That's the product mix. Now, step number 4. Profit maximizing budget. Profit maximizing. Profit maximizing budget. The profit maximizing budget, ladies and gentlemen, is not a trick thing at all. You just have to like drawing tables and then you are done. Okay? The table might be intimidating in terms of columns, but it's not that scary. Okay? This is our table, ladies and gentlemen. We have to slot in some sense in this table. You can draw whatever table you understand, okay? What's important is to know where the wind is blowing, which direction the wind is blowing. That's what you have to worry about. Just know what is happening. Material cost per unit. That's material cost per unit and total material cost. Then contribution per dollar of material, per dollar of material. Then total contribution. All right, that's the table. Don't be scared. That's the table. All right. Now, here, like I said, we start with producing Z, okay, but Z had opening inventory. So Z opening inventory. How much was it? The units were 200. Then Z production. We produced 200. So what is the total? The total is now 400. So, but the cost was $2 per unit. So it means that we're going to have $800 of costs, but the contribution per unit was $50. So how much in terms of total contribution? Because contribution per dollar of this one, contribution per dollar of scarce resource simply means that contribution per $800. If we are getting per each dollar, we're getting $50. So what? How much are we getting for $800? That's 800 multiplied by $50, and we get $1,200. Remember, these are dollars. Okay, you underline. You're done. But your underlining, I mean your line should not because here we have to add up. We need the total. Okay, the total contribution. Remember, the patient wants to know that total contribution. Then if you go to product product Y, there was no opening inventory, so we are only worried about the units produced. Production, how much was the production quantities? We produced 200. No, we didn't produce 200. How much? 500. These 500, these ones. Okay, yeah. Units produced for Yankee, that's 500. Okay, so we produce 500 here. 500 at how much? This cost, the material cost were $6, so that's 3,000. And there was a contribution of $1. Okay, contribution of $1, so it will remain 3,000. We move on. Sorry, I'm going to we then have to do for products let's just write on a clear sheet. Okay, then product X, okay, there was opening stock of 250, if you still remember. Okay, there was opening stock of 250, and then there was X production, the items which were produced, which were 300. Sorry, it's not 300, that's 175. That's 175 because here we indicated it's 175. Okay, so in total they become 425. Okay, 425. Now, if they're 425 and each unit was costing $8, remember, $8. Okay, $8. So if we 425 multiplied by 8, we are going to get something like how much? Is calculator. 8 by 425. We're going to get 3,400. So if we have 3,400 and we are told that the contribution per dollar of this 3,400 is $50, so it means that the total contribution will be a half. That's 50 cents. That's half. Okay. So we have to add these figures. 1,200 plus 3,000, that's 4,200, plus 1.7, that's 5,900. This is the total contribution. I'm sure you have been helped, ladies and gentlemen, and this is how we do it. Okay, this is how we do it. Let us go to the next uh, video until we meet again. Let us feel excited, very, very excited.